Welcome back to the Red Dice Diaries. This is a response to Rhaegar the Dragonborn, aka Matthew's video, asking for good system recommendations for the first time GM. Now, I know what you're thinking, YouTube.
Oh, here comes the bit where John starts banging on about fate. Typical.
And normally you'd be quite right, because
I love me some fate.
especially Fate Accelerated, which is available for very little. It's a very simple narrative set of rules that you should definitely check out. Now, I reviewed Fate Accelerated ages ago. You can see that by clicking there. However, Dr. Funlove TV has pretty much summed up all of the reasons why Fate Accelerated is great in his video response to Rhaegar the Dragonborn, which you can see by clicking there. So I'm going to talk about a different game. I'm going to talk about this game, Dungeon World by Sage Kobold Productions, which I reviewed a while ago as well. And you can see that review by clicking there. Now, whilst Fate is my go-to system for most types of game, if I want a game that has the feel of old school D&D, but with updated mechanics and a heavy emphasis on story, then I inevitably reach for my copy of Dungeon World every time. So, what makes it good for novice GMs? Well, first of all, the rules are very simple. The GM rolls no dice themselves, and the players just roll 2d6 for each action, adding a stat bonus. A final roll of 6 or less is a fail, 7 to 9 is a success with complication, and 10 plus is a success. 2. Everything you need to play is contained in this one book. 3. The game splits actions into several types of common moves, such as hack and slash, discern realities, and defy danger. These are easily available from the Sage Kobold website, which I'll put a link to down below, as compact cheat sheets, and also on the character sheets for any special moves that character classes might have. So you rarely actually need to reference this book at all during a session. And I'm a big fan of anything that minimizes book flipping. I think that really is helpful to the first time GM, since you don't want to be panicking, flicking through desperately, looking for a rule or a particular page whilst your players are sat there getting frustrated and a little bit bored. The emphasis of the book is on creating entertaining game fiction, making a combined story between the GM and the players. This is a great lesson to learn quickly as a GM. There's a good sample of monsters in the book, and it's also some very easy to follow guidelines to create your own. Basically, there's a series of questions. You go down them and answer them. Each of your answers affects the stats, and at the end, boom, you've got your monster. As simple as that. Reason 6. Dungeon World focuses on running a prep light game. This is great for first time GMs as it means less bewildering paperwork to focus on, lose and panic about. The game also gives you great advice on how to prepare your first session, manage a campaign, and also how to create and run plots. All advice that is very useful and that a lot of us, certainly myself, take for granted now, but which can be a great boon to the first time GM. Reason number 7. There is a lot of cheap extra content, new character classes, etc., monsters, adventures, available from DriveThruRPG. And it is very, very inexpensive, which is great for a novice GM, especially if you don't want to jump straight in and spend a load of money when you're not really sure of your footing. You want to try a few things first. Dungeon World has got you covered. And finally, reason 8, there are also games using the same engine, the Powered by the Apocalypse engine, which are not concerned with fantasy, such as the excellent Tremulous, which is a game of Lovecraftian horror and investigation using the same rules engine. So there you go. If you're looking for a game that has the feel of old school D&D, but with more of a mind towards collaborative narrative storytelling, and with a simple streamlined rule system with a strong central mechanic that once you've learned, you pretty much know everything you need to know to get on with the game, but that also contains some almost indispensable advice for new GMs and for experienced GMs on everything from how to run a game, create a town, manage a campaign setting. Then you really cannot go far wrong with this book. And I will put a link to where you can get the PDF from down below. I hope if you've enjoyed this video, you'll consider clicking on like and subscribe to my channel by clicking on the dice up there. If you have any comments about Dungeon World or about this particular video, please put them in the responses down below or hit me up in the Google Plus links. Or if you've got the time, the inclination and the equipment, make a video response yourself. I'd love to see it, and put a link down below. Until I see you next time, take care and good gaming.